Hi, my name is Thomas Lossermeyer, founder and president of Visualign, a consulting firm with the mission to visualize data to improve your business performance. In this 5-minute presentation, we're going to take a look at some techniques to visualize profitability and better understand the profitability of your customers and your products. Let's start with here a fictitious example of data about customers and products broken down by cost, profit, and revenue, and the volume over a certain period of time, say a quarter. Now, it's not trivial to get data broken down in that granularity because often we have a lot of indirect cost, and it's not trivial and immediately obvious how each product and each customer consumes that cost. But that's a topic for a different discussion. So let's assume that we have this data. Here are some useful ways to look at that data. Here we implement this in Tableau. One very useful way is to plot the revenue and accumulate revenue over all the customers. And more importantly, when you start sorting it by decreasing revenue, you see a classic Pareto distribution, meaning that a small percentage, maybe 10–20% of your customers, account for a large portion of your revenue. And in this case, we are looking at a fictitious company that made a total of $3.1 million in revenue in that period. So is the answer to focus on just those customers with the highest revenue? Maybe not so much. Let's look at the profitability by subtracting from that revenue the cost to sell and serve this customer. And again, if you plot the individual profitability amounts per customer and then you accumulate it over time, in this form it doesn't look very useful yet. But again, if you sort by decreasing profitability, you get a shape which is similar to the Pareto curve, except that it will slope down if you have customers where you actually lose money. And this shape is called the whale curve. Now, you might also say, we can focus on just those customers that we have positive results with, and we would see that if we just had these customers to deal with, our profit would be in the order of about $500,000. For a $3 million revenue, that would be a very nice operating margin. Likewise, if we want to see just how much our troubled customers over on the right end reduce our result, that's a very large number. They reduce the result by more than $500,000. So at the top, we would be near 700,000, but the final result is only a bit better than $100,000 of profit. For a $3 million revenue, that's only about 3% profit margin. Now, what we can also look at is if we plot the same whale curve of customer profitability, but instead look at the revenue of individual customers, we see we have some outliers. For example, of customers that create a large volume. And we can, from within here, we can drill into these customers either by summary or by all the transactions that we've had. And notice that in this case, while this customer had a lot of revenue, it didn't necessarily contribute the most profit. Speaking of profitability, you can also look at this from the product perspective. And for each product, sum up all the profits or losses that this particular product had with customers. And so just like we had before, you can see, well, if I just had sold these 2 or 3 products, my profits would have been at 288,000, but the final profit, as we know, is only about 106,000. Last but not least, you can aggregate all these instruments into a dashboard of sorts and start to analyze. Again, if you just have focus on a particular set of profitable customers, or products in this case, and see how many customers are buying, what the distribution is, or for just one particular product, look at which companies buy or have the most profitable interactions. These are just some of the useful ways to visualize your data to improve performance. If you want to learn more about this, visit us at visualign.net. Thank you.